What's up, my derps? It's your boy Gregolis, and on today's episode of Cast Guidance, we're going to talk about what to do with downtime. All right, go ahead and add a D4 to your ability check, and let's get better at D&D together. Before we begin, don't forget, roll to hit that subscribe button and add an extra attack to the notification bell so you don't miss any awesome content. I remember when I first had some downtime in D&D, I was really confused by what it was or what it meant. Our DM told us to prepare for downtime next session and said the world was our oyster. Well, joke's on him. I hate oysters. Seriously, if you aren't sure what downtime is, the best way to explain it is that it's what you do when there's nothing to do. Just like in real life, you're not always tearing the fangs out of three-headed monsters. Sometimes you gotta wait on that armor to be forged, or that pie you special requested to be baked. You got a bit of downtime on your hands, and this is where the fun gets casually funner. Here are my top 5 favorite things to do during downtime. Let's dive in. Tip 1. Magic items. Now's your chance to really soup up your character sheet. Buff it up by heading over to the nearest market and searching for some sort of magic item maker. It could be a weapon, armor, or some kind of trinket. This is completely dependent on your DM and is at their discretion, as well as how deep your pockets are. But this downtime activity can lead to some serious leveling up. I shouldn't have to mention how beneficial magic items can be to your character. I know 5e is different than earlier editions that required them, but still, how cool is it when you whip out your Vorpal sword and instant decap any enemy with a head? Critical roll required, obviously. Next, tip 2, carousing. Maybe it's the bar to me, but I love spending time in a tavern or local watering hole, getting to know the local, finding out the haps, as the kids be saying. Spending time plying folks' lips with all they can drink steins in order to find out who the big players are in whatever town we're in, or where I might find some other magical items perchance, or even using the time to make contacts with some of those who are less inclined to speak openly. Carousing can provide so many role-playing opportunities and further plot hook. As a bonus, the sheer look of terror on the DM's face when you ask to know how to say and spell every NPC you meet throughout the night makes it well worth the effort. Barkeep, another! Tip 3. Gambling. In the right setting, gambling can be a lot of fun. I don't gamble in real life, but when we have an exorbitant amounts of imaginary money to play with, why the heck not? Gambling can also be part of the carousing if done right. It can also lead to some seriously awkward situations. Now, the DMG or the PHB has limited guidance regarding how gambling should work, so try and give your poor DM a heads up that you'd like to do this a day or two before the session. That way they can be prepared themselves and make the experience far more exciting. When you run out of chips though, it's always a good idea to do a little training, which leads us to tip 4. Tip 4. Research and training. Although both separate concepts with different parameters, the idea here is simple. Dedicate time to improving something. Whether that something is learning new spells or new languages or figuring out how to use a different weapon, the concept stays the same. A certain amount of in-game time is required to become proficient. Depending on your table, this can be done in a robust manner, or it can simply be a wink and a nod from the DM dictating how much time you've dedicated to said training. This actually can be the most valuable of all the downtime things to do and keep you focused on your goals of being the biggest badass at the table. It can also be super boring. Up to you. You know what's not boring? This next tip. Tip 5. Establish a stronghold. Just like every superhero, your team of champions needs a place they could call home. Establishing a town or a castle or some kind of resting place takes time and money. Lots of it. The sooner you begin the process, the sooner you'll have a comfy bed and a safe space to talk to your teammates about all the unusual smells that have been wafting around them as of late. Another downtime idea? Take a bath. Seriously though, this has never happened to me yet in all the campaigns I've played, and I think it's one of the greatest ideas. Like Scanlan Shorthalt did in Campaign 1 of Critical Role, I desperately want to get a mural-sized painting done of Creon Smashstone to have hung in the halls of my very own castle. We all have dreams. Downtime can be a lot of fun, and it's much more casual a session than heading into combat or finding new dungeons to explore. The handbook and Dungeon Master Guides explain that it's okay to get creative here. Connect it to your backstory and find something specific you'd like to do. It can be a lot of fun. So let's recap a few of my favorite things to do in downtime. Source magic items, carouse with locals, gamble with locals, train or research and improve your stats, establish a home. Do you have a favorite downtime idea? These were high level, so maybe next time we can get into some deeper and more creative fun things to do in another video. As always, drop a comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget, D&D isn't a game you win. Let's cast guidance on each of our tables to enhance each other's experiences. Thanks, Derps. See you next week with more from me, your boy Gregorless. Hey Derps, thanks for watching. We're trying really hard to build this channel up, so if you could give us a subscribe, that would be really helpful and appreciated. This community matters to us, and we want to hear your voice. Let us know what you liked or didn't like, and let's chat in the comments. Also, don't forget to check me out playing D&D on the D&D show every other Sunday. The link should be somewhere over here, or here, or here. Thanks!